Star Wars. I bet that's not the first word you expected for a Fallout video. Growing up, my biggest fixation was Star Wars. One of my earliest memories is watching A New Hope for the first time. Since that point, I've just been in love with that universe. It's my favorite thing, and it has been absolutely ruined time and time again by Disney. They've made just so much garbage that I hate. The only good thing Disney made was Clone Wars. There are some TV shows that are okay, but there's still so much wrong. This is not the point of the video. We don't need to get into this. I knew everything Star Wars. I lived and breathed Star Wars. I still have so much Star Wars stuff all around my room. It is still what I would call my favorite universe, but that might just be me being in denial of letting go and moving on. It doesn't change how much I like it. I still love it, but I'm not as obsessed with it as I used to be. And it took me a long time to realize this, but the thing that has taken hold of my attention is Fallout. I had heard about the Fallout and the Elder Scrolls games, but I was very unfamiliar with them until 76 came out. I was watching it very, very closely leading up to the release date. I found these really cool YouTubers who got to play the game early, showing all the lore and stuff in it. It was fascinating. I've always liked the idea of the apocalypse, post-apocalyptic worlds and stuff, and dystopian, and something about it is so attractive to me. I think those worlds are beautiful and like they're decaying, but I don't know, something about them is really beautiful and fascinating to explore. And you never see any realistic apocalyptic shows or games. Like there's going to be unnatural things in there, and that's part of what makes it so exciting. Even if it was just as real as you could make it be for a real life apocalypse scenario, no zombies or anything, it would still be fascinating to explore and learn what this new version of the world is like. And we know that the start of 76 was really rough. Launch was bad, but it did have a certain charm to it. There were more elements to the game when it first launched that they took out since that I do still miss, but it wasn't great. And now it's really good and we all love it. And I have been playing it since launch pretty much. I mean, I did stop. Like, I played it on launch for a little bit, and then I dropped it till like 2020, 2021, and then it got good. And then it kept getting better. And I love the world now. Now it's my favorite game. I love the Fallout world. Since getting this game, I have explored the other ones. And every time being dropped into it for that first time, coming out of the vault or, New Vegas, it's just always so fascinating to see what's in front of you, what is in store, what random things you're going to find, what people you're going to encounter. The stories are always so interesting, and they can be so stupid and funny sometimes. I love it. But none of them have hit the same way that 76 does for me. Now, let's not get confused here. New Vegas and 3 are the best ones. New Vegas is the best Fallout game. It's so... When I think of Fallout and RPGs, that game is like, that should be the standard. The way they crafted all the mechanics and the RPG elements and everything is just so good. Everything's so good. So why isn't it my favorite? Well, the older mechanics can be a little rough, and I do really like the online element. I wish that 76 had an offline mode that you didn't have to pay for. It should just have an offline mode. But I do like that you get to explore the world with other people. Are you aromatic exilvilli?
What?
Why do I have somebody in my friends list that is named super weirdly for some reason. It's gotta be you. It makes it feel a little less lonely, which feels contradictory to, loving the apocalyptic feeling because you're kind of supposed to be alone. It doesn't matter. It's cool. This is my fishing spot I made. Don't ignore. That's just Benny. Don't worry about him. The building crafting systems are quite good as well. I have never found a game, other than Minecraft of course, that has a better crafting system. I love it and how it can be so important to pick up any item around the world to craft and build. It just makes my brain so happy. Also, building your own camp is really, really fun, and the system can be a little finicky and annoying sometimes, but I do enjoy it a lot. Overall, both crafting and building in 76 is so much better than the former games. 4 is the only other one that has building in it, but 76 does it way better. Also, 76 is the only Fallout where prices are not outrageous and seemingly unobtainable. You can actually make money and use it and not just be broke all the time in this game. But the biggest thing isn't even the mechanics. 76 is the only one with a properly fleshed out map. And I don't mean necessarily the locations, like all the vaults. Dude, they only just recently made the last vault accessible. It's ridiculous that those were even markers on the location and you couldn't go in them from the start. Like, it's so dumb. No, what I mean is the environments. Every Fallout game previous, there's really only one biome. Some of them have some offshoots here and there, but it's really very scarce. 76 has, 5 biomes? Toxic Valley, the Forest, Savage Divide, the Mire, the Cranberry Bog, and the new one, and the Ash Heap. That's 7. And they're all so big and unique and just gorgeous. They're so beautiful. And they all have their own elements to it. Different things you have to do to survive in different areas sometimes. I love that. But I think I should go a little more in depth on each region of the map, because they are all very unique and have their own different atmospheres and feels to them. Starting with the first one, your starting location, the forest. If you're going for comfort, the forest is the best place to be. It's the coziest, most lush and green region of the map. It's very safe here. It's very calm and peaceful. This is where you see the most docile wildlife. And there are plenty of enemies here still, yes, but ultimately it's safer. You don't run into enemies as much, and the ones you do are relatively easy and not normally in big groups. Now, it used to be split up by levels. Each region you needed to be a certain level to really survive there. They've since changed that system, but they do still have their own level of difficulty, so I'm going to be talking about them in order of easiest to hardest. But if you're looking for nice scenery and ambience, the forest is a great place to be, and it has some really good building locations. The next region is the Savage Divide. I believe this is the next easiest place. It's not super easy if you're still just starting out the game, but it is a lot more fair to you than the other regions. This is the most wasteland biome. Excluding Toxic Valley, I mean this is the most, if you put the entire map of 76 into the Savage Divide, everything was the same as the Savage Divide. Nobody would bat an eye. This is what the typical Fallout wasteland looks like. It's not too pretty, but it's also not too ugly. There's a lot of dry areas, not a lot of greenery, but there is some foliage here and there. You do come into more frequent enemies than docile critters here, but I think your biggest problem is going to be blood eagles and super mutants. But this is also one of the most convenient places to build camps. There's a lot of high places with open land to build, get a really nice view of everything. And depending on which side you build, you can either look out into the hills of the Appalachians, or you could look towards the Cranberry Bog and maybe see some nuke drops, which is always fun to watch. The Toxic Valley, I would only say, is more dangerous because everything there is just awful. The whole area is like radiated and poisonous. All the water's toxic and has tons of radiation. If you go in it or drink it, you'll get diseases. There's vents in the ground that expel radiation and diseases. All the bugs there are poisonous and will give you diseases. It's just not a safe place. And also most of the creatures there are just so obnoxious to fight. There's a lot of very dangerous things here. Pretty much nothing in this region will not attack you. Everything wants to fight. I don't like this. I don't see a lot of people build over here either. I've seen just like maybe a handful of builds here. It's not a pretty place, but it's always reminded me of that lower left section of the map in Fallout 4 where all the death claws were. It's a good biohazardous place for the map, which most Fallout games seem to have one. This one is very fitting. The atmosphere here is so dead and dark, and it almost feels quiet compared to some of the other biomes. Quiet in a sense of there's just no life here. All the land is dry. There are no living trees in sight. This is a barren, forgotten land. In terms of atmosphere, I think the mire is my favorite place because it's so creepy. It's so spooky. There's some sort of like vine weaving its way through the entire forest. It's like this spooky, twisted forest full of mist, and the atmosphere turns to this like blue hue. Got all sorts of really cool creatures. I really like the design of a lot of the creatures and enemies in this region, like the gulpers, and there's giant sloths, which are awesome, and I don't even know if those are native to America in any way. I don't know how or why they're here. I feel like if they wouldn't be in America, maybe they got out of zoo. Look, I'm not knowledgeable on this stuff. I don't know. This is also a really fun place for cryptid encounters. Out of all the places I see the Mothman, my favorite is when I'm going through the mire and I see these big glowing eyes in the distance, and it's so dark you can't see almost anything else. It also has one of the most creepy locations, which is like this little store on the corner of a street full of ghouls, and there's a Wendigo as well, which suggests cannibalism has happened in this area. So there's definitely a very dark backstory to this place. But it's also right in between the Savage Divide and the mire, so you can see as they kind of merge together and make this really unique kind of creepy mix of biomes. And I just think they flow really well together to make this super eerie feel to the spot. Now, my least favorite part of the map is the ash heap. This place is just hell. It's just hell. Everything is ash, hence the name. There's fire everywhere. It's super loud here, and you're hearing rocks fall all the time around you. Kind of freaks you out sometimes because you think maybe there's something out there, but there's probably not. It's just a noisy environment, and it's not fun to be in. There's a ton of mole miners here. I don't have anything good to say about this region. It's just a hellscape. But my favorite overall biome is the Cranberry Bog. This place is so cool. It's the most open land in the entire game. I mean, there's also the Toxic Valley, but this is very like, there's almost no trees here at all. But the whole place is just like, it's like a battleground. It feels like a battleground. It's all wet and dark and orange. The soil is super dark, mixing with the orange grass everywhere. It just looks really unique. It's very, very cool. Aesthetically is my favorite biome and is a really fun place to build. But it is also super dangerous because you have like no protection from anything, and there's scorched beasts all over the place and other very, very big, scary creatures. But I love how you can just see everything there. From any point, you can see the Watoga city, and everything's all in view out in the open. It just looks cool. It's a cool vibe. And that leads us to the last region, which is kind of brand new. I mean, it's like a year old at this point, but still, it was very hype leading up to this. I was looking forward to this. This is one of my most anticipated things. I think this and Shadow of the Erdtree were coming out around the same time, so I had to like juggle between the two of them, but these were my two most anticipated things happening at the moment. It's a very cool area. It's basically like the forest, but there's this spooky storm that it's like you're in the Upside Down. This is the Upside Down version of the forest. And while you're in the storm, it changes the entire world to like red. And the storm, thankfully, is not as annoying as being in a nuke blast. But in the test server, when you got to run around the area, the audio they had for it was just a nuke blast. And I'm so happy they changed that because it would have been horrific. But when you're in the outskirts of the region, it's much more calm. The red goes away. You don't hear the storm anymore. Not as closely, at least. And it's a very nice, calm, very pretty area. But it is the most dangerous. Everything there hurts. And those new turkeys they have, the new turkey enemies, I hate them. They're everywhere. They take so much damage to kill, and they hurt you very bad. But I hope they do expand the map more, because it would be very awesome to see them utilize all this free real estate on an already huge map.
These are confusing. See if anyone needs help after that. Romani and I are both putting once that gives you.
Now, I don't think almost any of the stories in this game match the level of anything prior. I mean, even four, which I really don't like that game. It was good for one playthrough, but it's so boring and monotonous and just, it's so bland after a while. And I don't like the characters in that game. But even that had some better, more interesting story than this does. Now, it does have some good stories, but a lot of it really just isn't that interesting. I think, honestly, the best storyline we've gotten is from the new biome. It's just lacking in areas. And I think there should be more stuff like, it'd be really cool if we could intermingle with the cultists. Like, have a cultist quest line that gets us involved with them. Like, that would be fucking awesome. And yes, there is a quest where you get to go into like this cave system in the forest and infiltrate the cultist base. I don't remember what happens after, but it's a really small quest, and it was fun. It was very cool. But I'm talking about something where like you actually like become a part of the group and have a whole long quest line around them. I want that. And I would love more quests around the cryptids and stuff. And there's another thing that I love so much about 76, the cryptids. The lore of the state you're in. Like, they put so much work into making this feel like part of our world if it was the apocalypse in the Fallout setting. There's so much lore. Oh, dude, the story can be good in this game, but it is not what grabs my attention. My attention is drawn towards the beautiful environments, scavenging, combat, just exploring, just being there, and the terrifying encounters you have with the cryptids. And finally, they've added all the cryptids. You can find the turtle, you can find the werewolf, like everything is in there. I remember when I first got this game and I opened the map and there were little icons of animals here and there, and I was like, okay, well, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. There'd be more deer around this area. There's a lot of woods and stuff like that. Maybe there'll be fish down here where there's a lot of water, but some of them were different. That turtle looks a little suspicious. What happened to the turtle on the map? I kind of talked about him in my video. Does he not?
Y'all ever stick two fingers in your urethra and start spreading?
What's that thing called? I got Mandela affected about the turtle on the map. There's a fish. And there are things you can find to read about said tortoise. It's a cryptid. And now you can find them in the game. I went over there. I remember when I went in the area of the map before, when I first started playing this game, and I was desperately trying to find this creature, really, really hoping I could, and you couldn't. Before really only the sheep squatch. I think that's like the only cryptid we really had. Are you stupid? Sorry, little intermission here. What? Hello? Did you dude, West Virginia's whole thing is the Mothman. I fucking love Mothman. It's sick. How did I say one and move on? It's like, yeah, it's sheep squatch. That's all I got. Dude, there's also the Flatwoods monster. There's 3. Dude, Also, sorry, my mic sounds different. The Fallout recording. It's the first essay I've done since I had mic issues, and now I have all new settings, but I didn't like how it sounded, but I'm not recording the entire essay because I wouldn't be able to recapture the same, you know? So now my mic sounds different, and I like this a lot better, and okay, goodbye. But it still might need some fixing. I don't know. Sorry, I was very close to the mic room recording all of that, so it was super bassy. Plus, my voice just does that. But still. And I did record a lot of extra parts after, so you'll probably notice random jumps in mic quality. I think that's like the only cryptid we really had. And then they made them like boss fights, but now you can find those bosses just out there. I came across the Bull Wolf, and it was terrifying because I did not know what was going on. I was like, you are not supposed to be here. This is not your event. But he was just there in the wild. It was so cool. It was genuinely terrifying. He was actually really scared to fight alone. And the fact that it has Mothman, and there's a cult that's entirely centered around him. And you can dress up like them, and there's events, not limited time, that let you have all sorts of their garb. I mean, come on, dude. Okay, let me just give you a little tour of all the cryptids. And I brought Poppy along for this because I thought it might be funny since he's played the game like one other time and has never seen any of the cryptids. Herb, well, you, sir, are my guinea pig for content. So we're going to hunt for cryptids.
You're a cryptid.
We got the Flatwoods monster, which is just one of the Zeta in some like super advanced suit or something. I don't really know. He's cool, spooky though. I like him. He has a whole cool like atmosphere to him. I really like the sounds he makes too.
God damn, this game is darker than my butthole.
I hear a cryptid already. Dude, we've done it already. We found one. Come look at him. Look at him. Look at that purple guy. Oh. Look at that purple guy over there. That purple guy right there.
Mythical
Get that purple guy.
Flatwoods monster. That's one of my people. I can't kill him.
What? What is
purple like me?
Oh.
My god!
He's not purple on the inside. That's just the suit he's wearing. He's a little green bastard on the inside. Very spooky. Before the Zeta were like a bigger part of this game, it was really cool just seeing him every once in a while. Oh yeah. And there's aliens now. There's some deer to our left. Who's that guy? There's aliens! Poppy, there's aliens! Okay, I guess it just is a random spawn.
Holy shit, is that Optimus Prime?
No, the Zeta, they aren't new to the Fallout universe, but they've never been this present before. And I know that there's an event for them in this game, but I've never just seen them out in the open like this. There's the Grafton monster, which I don't really know much about, to be honest. I think he is an actual cryptid people have claimed to see in West Virginia, but I may be entirely wrong. Regardless, he's a big abomination with seemingly no head, and he likes to throw ink at you.
Oh, that's that fucking guy from Pikmin.
What?
He looks like the Pikmin god.
Shoot him! He broke my leg. He actually broke my leg.
This guy really just looks like a hyper-realistic version of Pikmin god. There he is.
That's so funny. Ooga. This one I know is a real legend. I think. He's just a big turtle. There he is. Oh, that is not the sheep squatch.
Ooga.
Ooga. When I fought you before, you were all up in my space. You were terrifying. I was in the mire. You were whooping my booty hole. That's what he was doing. Oh! Oh! And it doesn't matter if that's how his name is pronounced or not, okay? It's Ooga, and it will forever be Ooga. There's also this sheep squatch, actual cryptid IRL, or made up for this game. I don't know, because I've never heard of it. But it makes me think of the Wendigo. Not this Wendigo, but the other one, the animal one. The titular fadangled sheep squatch.
You should say that in your let's player your project you're doing.
Will do. The
And as
titular
you can see, as we
fadangled sheep squatch.
came across the fadangled titular sheep.
Why? We searched for a long time for this bastard, and we only found other cryptids, which, I mean, was good because we kept going to all these locations to find cryptids and ended up finding every other one that we needed to find. Like, so that's nice. At least it was productive, but we could not find this guy. So annoying. The titular fadangled sheep squatch has eluded us once more.
Alright guys, unfortunately we didn't find the titular fadangled sheep squatch, but maybe we'll find it in the next video. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe for more content. Thank you. This has been Basking_Bagel.
Thank you. Moving on. Okay, now this one I do actually know is a real one. That is talked about in West Virginia. The Blue Devil. Yes, yes, yes! Spawn on me now.
Oh my god.
This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. There you go. Okay. Look that way. Do you see something big and menacing? Here, I'll light it up for you. Oh, he's coming. That right there is a werewolf.
Whoa!
I'm pretty sure it's a werewolf. Otherwise, it's just some freaky wolf, and that would be really boring compared to someone turning into a wolf. So let's go with werewolf. Come in the house.
Oh, I'll come in the house already.
You better.
Monster house. I fuck my house like monster house.
The last one we had a bit of an adventure trying to find Mothman. Okay, I think if we go this way.
Shut up.
You can't jump scare me like that.
I knew I was gonna do that.
Okay, I think this is the right room. No, this is not the right room. Oh, this is not. I don't want to be. We don't want to be in this. This is a really bad room. Get out. I don't know if he comes out unless we're on. Oh, yup, he's coming. He's going. Run, Poppy, please.
Where's that? Where did you go? I paid attention.
That is the hardest one of those guys there is in this game. He's so intense. Okay. Now, Mothman, as much in this game as in Legend, is very elusive. He's not an easy one to find. He spawns as a random encounter, but not like the actual random counters, no. Those all have their own set points that you can trigger them at. And I'm sure he does too, but they're all in very out of the way areas. More so places you'll stumble into, not ones that you can easily look on the map and say, that corner of the road there will give you an encounter. To make it a bit easier though, you could go to all the cultist spots and maybe you'll find them there. But there are 2 guaranteed locations. One of them is an event called the Path of Enlightenment or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. But at the end of it, Mothman comes down and you can greet him. It's the only non-hostile encounter. Another one is from the Brotherhood of Steel quest line, and you're supposed to be able to meet him in this lab and then fight him. This happens every time. He's guaranteed to spawn there every single time. But this time, he fucking dipped. Okay, here come funny Mothman guy. Oh, this is a scorched one. He's not my favorite. He's not like fluffy and cute. Where'd he go? There's no way he left. He only disappears in encounters sometimes. He's not supposed to leave here. This is supposed to be a spot where you fight him. That's crazy.
Bro just dipped.
That's insane. That has never happened to me in this encounter. Ever. I was trying so hard. I was trying so hard to get the Mothman. Just one clip of the Mothman and he left. I just wanted to show Mr. PP all the cool cryptids. And he left. They also added fishing recently to the game, which is, dude, if you need a reason to get back into Fallout, there's fishing. Brother, did you get bait?
I don't look the fish in the eye. You lose 'em.
I don't know.
I know. Wait, you're just holding the fishing rod? How are you doing that? How
I don't know what just happened.
how were you holding the fish? You can't do that. You cannot do that. I'm so for real.
I held R over here and I started walking away. And then it just froze eventually. You can't do that. No, you can't do
that. You're not supposed to be able to do that. There's never, ever been a game with fishing, and it's not good. That isn't true. I'm sure there are terrible ones. I mean, I remember trying to fish in Skyrim, and I didn't like that. And Minecraft fishing is so boring. But still, they added fishing, and it's a pretty mechanic. Like, it's not super exciting, but it is fun, and it is relaxing. And this game has just the most gorgeous scenery for you to just chill out and fish too. Why am I in conversation? Why does it say that?
Talking to his fish.
Like, it's awesome. I love it. And Fallout was my first, like, real RPG. You know, I mean, like, dialogue options. It matters what you're wearing, how you look, you know, all that type of stuff. Status effects. You have to keep watch over, like, all that stuff. This is the first real proper RPG I've ever played. It got me hooked on everything. Now, anytime I see anything Fallout, I'm just so drawn into it. It doesn't matter what it is. Lore videos, merchandise, whatever, like games. It's everything. I just love everything Fallout. It's just like when I was obsessed with Star Wars as a kid. I wish that Star Wars could be what Fallout is to me right now, but it just doesn't have the games like Fallout does. And why does that matter? Star Wars started out as films. Technically, it started as a book, but I mean, that was written while the film was in production. It doesn't count. Started like it was a book first, but they started the film before they wrote the book, but the book came out first. It doesn't matter. Games are the greatest way to be able to interact with the worlds that you love. If I didn't have Fallout, Star Wars would still be in this position for me. I would still be constantly trying to consume Star Wars media that isn't the new stuff. I hate the new stuff, okay? And it does have good games. It does have some really great games, but there's nothing like this. There's Knights of the Old Republic and there's the MMO, but I don't think that's quite what I'm looking for. The MMO is actually really interesting, and I would like to get back into it because I think it does have a lot more to offer than I saw. But I want something that feels like this. When I play a game, I want it to feel like Fallout. That's why I was so excited for Starfield. I waited so long to play Starfield. Many, many years. And it really let me down in a lot of areas. But it was good while it lasted. But I was so excited because it was the closest thing I could get to Star Wars. That feel of having Star Wars in this kind of game format. And I want more Fallout. You know what I need to fill this gap? To fill this hole, this desire for more of this? I just need a remake, bro. Just the remaster. I need the remaster. Like they remastered Oblivion, and it's incredible. It's fantastic. It feels like the exact same game. It just looks better. It moves a little better too. It handles better. All I need is Fallout 3. I don't even need the graphics upgrade. I just want it mechanically to feel like 76 because it's our most updated version and it feels good to play. The gun combat feels balanced. For one, the melee combat is good. Just implement that into the old games. That's all I need. That is all I need. I would be in them all the time. And like, it's not bad that the other games are all kind of one setting the whole time, that's okay. It's a nuclear wasteland. It's not going to be pretty. Why Appalachia looks the way it does, I don't know. I'm sure there's lore behind that, but I don't care. I don't need to know. It looks gorgeous, and I like it. And I love old music. I love old styles, like diners, cars, clothing, kind of, but not really that part. Sometimes. I just love the whole aesthetic that this universe created. And no, I'm not saying Fallout created the 50s style. That's not, I don't mean that they created. I mean, they made a hyper-technological world set in a 50s style aesthetic. They made things their own. That's what I mean. I love, like, that era of aesthetic. And then they brought that into the apocalypse. It's so sick. It's so sick. 76 is my favorite because I can just get lost in it. I can just escape to that world. It's really nice. But I've been doing that for so many years, it can start to get stale, you know? It's like with Minecraft. Like, you grow up playing Minecraft for so long, and then you just fall off of it. What even do you do anymore? You get the craving to play the game, but then you think about what you would be doing in the game, and you're just like, kind of seems pointless. I've done that thousands of times already. I'm not going to get anything from doing this. Until recently, I put a little spin on the game for myself. When I get high, my two favorite things are playing Fallout and listening to music, but not at the same time. Those are my two favorite things. When I'm high, those are like the only things I can think of. They are constant. Both Fallout and music are on my mind constantly. I'm just like, I want to be immersed in these worlds. So I got high, booted up Fallout, and I was like, I want to be entirely enveloped into this world. I don't want any other distractions. I don't want anything going on. I want to feel like I am there. Turned off all my lights, turned on the fan for a nice breeze, turned off my second monitor, nothing else playing. And I turned the HUD opacity all the way down. I turned the background music all the way off. And I was transported into this world. It was so incredible. Doing it at any point is fun, but when you do it high, it's a different experience. All of your senses are directed right at the game. And it feels like you're there, and everything is so much more intense. Your movements are more thought out. The way you play, you have to actually interact with things to loot through them. Like, you don't have markers on your screen anymore. You can't look at something and see a list of items inside of it. You have to interact with it. You have to click a button to go into the transfer menu to see what is in there. It just feels so much more immersive, and you don't have any markers on your HUD, so you can't just walk down this line to get to there. You have to actually rely on the resources that the game gives you more than you did before. I actually have to go into the Pip-Boy, look at the data menu, and try to get an understanding of what I'm needed to do for this quest, and look at the map to know which direction I'm going in, where I need to go, and where objectives are. Everything you do, it's based off your knowledge of the game. You know what items look like. You know where locations are. You know the map. I've been in this world for years. I know how to play this game. I know where to go. I know what things look like. It turns off baby mode. You don't rely on the game to tell you everything anymore. It's solely based off your knowledge of the game. And when you don't have any music blocking the sounds of this game, and you really just listen, both to the world sounds and the ones the creatures make, there's some really eerie sounds and so many things you just don't notice. It makes it all so much more immersive. It was so fucking fun. Now I can't play the game differently. I'm having so much fun doing this. I really recommend it. It is fantastic. It's fantastic if you're sober or not. But if you can try it high, do that. It's incredible. Do it responsibly. Be responsible. I don't know if I can tell people to get high. But, and when you're in that state, it's like everything is so much more intense. Experiencing things for the first time, learning how to do certain things for the first time in that state was incredible. Like figuring out, how am I going to loot stuff? Figuring out how to do that. And the fact that you can't know when you're in danger or not, because it doesn't play the music to tell you, hey, somebody knows you're here. You don't see the caution or hidden at the top when you're crouching. Like, everything is so real. It's awesome. I love it. The mire is a crazy place to be high. And then there's the new area. Super intense. Staring into that fucking butthole in the sky. It's crazy. Getting to experience this world like it's the first time again. And like I'm really there. It's just some of the most fun I've had in a long time. I just had to tell you about that. So if you've been needing an excuse to get back into 76, turn off the HUD, turn off the background music, and just get immersed into the world. Just enjoy yourself. I think I said everything I needed to say, so I'm going to stop this recording and get back into the game. Thank you very much. Oh. Roaches.
Oh, mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.